Hello and welcome to the review for G2 Universe Autobot Mirage. So this is part of the Walmart exclusive subline, at least in Canada and the US, of unreleased decos from the G2 era, and now we're getting them. So it's very fun. They've just been released. I picked up in Canada. I'll just show you the box art a bit before I go. And before I take this away. So in the front we've got the alt mode, and on the side we've got two pictures of Mirage. This is just a blown up version of this art here. And yeah, so they went with the head sculpt that they had initially shown like all the way back in Siege. So I have it here. I don't have the Earth mode version that this is actually a redeco of. I have the original Siege version because I didn't find that the more, we'll say, Earth mode had that big of a difference over this one here. And I mean, we don't even have a different head sculpt. It's the same head sculpt as the one back then. Also, I find this mold to be inferior to this one in the sense that we actually can't do the shoulder cannon properly. I'll show you how I was able to do it so we can mimic the concept art for this deco. Actually, I'll show you that now. Why not? So, this one's easy. He's got the peg holes. He does not. So, to do that, what I do is... he does have a hole here. So what I do, just for picture's sake, if I want him to look like on his, never released G2 box art, he'd be like this, right? So that kind of makes it work, but after that, no, it does not. So, not really. And it of course, it's not a deep connection at all. Just show you what you could do. All right, so this guy here, I'm going to bring the other one back, and we're going to just compare them a bit. I'll remove the gun as well. Okay, so just so you see the difference in colors. It's a bit less important here because, like I said, these are not the same mold. This is based off the retool of this toy. And what's fun is that while people consider this like a watermelon style deco, it's actually more crocodile based. And I hadn't noticed that until I transformed him into his. I mean, you see it a bit here, crocodile, but then you'll see that it works. You see it more in the alt mode. That's what we'll do. One thing I do want to show about the deco that I find really cool is that it seems like they painted these panel lines here, and I find that very impressive. Usually, you do get a sense of a panel line by the fact that there's a brush stroke, and thus whatever the lines here will be left a bit uncovered, so you have a contrast. But in this case, they actually did go over it with black. I find that really cool. All right. Remove this, and then we'll turn him into his alt mode to get a better sense of that deco in alt mode. For those that didn't get the Earth mode version, I'll transform this a bit more slowly, not rush through it, so you can see the steps in case this is your first time with this mold. I guess the biggest thing to remember is that when in the instructions you have to lift it up like this, you actually have to lift the whole piece. So we'll do that here. I'll show you what I mean by that. You lift it like that, because or else you will, and it's tight. So that's why you may not think that's what you're, that you pulled it off when you didn't. So yeah, this is how it's supposed to look like at this moment. Undo this, and the rest with the legs. This gets, oh yes, and you see I also undid this here. Okay. Honestly, I find this mold a bit tough to, not necessarily tough to transform, but just to get everything in order because you're dealing with these very large movements in such a confined space. So then you have to turn this around here, and these will eventually have to connect there. But at the same time, you have to then take these and switch them onto the other side. It works very well on this side because of the hole, but for this side with the peg, it's tough and it might even come off. We'll see what I do here. No, I was able to get it through. All right, good. Even here, there's that, you have to get it through this part. There is a, it's like, it doesn't peg in, it just has to slide through the hole made for the peg. Like I said, lots of stuff happening at the same time with this mold. Okay, so we got it. Come on, you. You know what, I'll just peg everything together, and that's going to give it that extra pressure to peg up here, because everything else will be lined up, right, like so. I'd rather there be minimal gap. There you go, and there, perfect. Now for this bit, because we do have, we did the shoulders correctly, it's easier. Just bring the wheels out, bring the head down, like so. And the last bit here, bring down the hands. These will connect together, and you're gonna bring it down. You see the crocodile heads there, and there'll be a bit of panel massaging, getting it just right. Okay, it's basically this. I mean, you could set it down more, but it's gonna, yeah, okay. Honestly, I think I'm okay with the gap for now. Yes, if you have more time, you can try to massage it a bit better, make sure everything fits in. But for purpose of this review, we'll just leave it at that for now. And what I wanted to show you was, so now you've got the extra scales. At first I thought they were bubbles, I wasn't sure what they were in robot mode, but they are scales to give you this like crocodilian appearance, and the crocodile head's on top. So that's what it looks like. It's pretty cool, pretty well accomplished. It's fun. I'm glad to have this guy in my collection, and it's one of the most wild G2 style decos out there. And it's cool that we actually finally have it after all these years. All right, so I wish you all a great day. Bye.